How can your self-talk change your financial strength and how you have success financially? Let's talk about that because it's a fun topic. It might be even one that gets you, like triggers you a little bit. Money, politics, religion, that money, it can really get you. So let's talk about that. Today is October 15th, day 289, 77 days left in 2024, and this year is 78.96% complete. So, but first, before we get into the money mindset and all of that, and the reason I want to talk about that is because, you know, when you join the self-talk, you become part of the self-talk tribe. Oh, by the way, I'm Lenny Wennerstrom, and what am I doing? Every single day I read you a passage from Dr. Shad Helmstetter's book with his blessing, the 365 Days of Positive Self-Talk for Finding Your Purpose. So as a self-talk trainer and self-talk and a life coach certified by Dr. Shad Helmstetter, I really love his, it's not just, I chose to get certified because I love his work. I've studied neuroplasticity, and I've studied the brain, I've studied the programs that we have in mindsets and all kinds of stuff. And I was a health coach. I've written a book on health, and all of that was, you know, the reason I stopped coaching, and I've mentioned this to you before, is because people just didn't do what I had suggested the majority of the time. Like a lot of times there was a lot of success, but there was less success than I would have preferred to see in people and their health. And so it was just something, it was like, you know, it's like, it just wasn't something I wanted to continue to do, because it was like pulling teeth to get people, you know, to hydrate and have the right kind of water and do, you know, just different stuff on a weekly basis. So, and it didn't feel good when I would call in. It would be like as if I was, you know, oh my gosh, I was so dreading this call, because, and it didn't happen all the time, but even the times it did, it didn't feel right for me, and it wasn't right for me, but it was their programs. I didn't know that, and me as well. And so this is why I want to talk about the money mindset. But the reason, before I read this passage very quickly, is everything is very quickly with me. Have you noticed? Maybe it's not, but this, when you get the self-talk app, and again, that's not my app, that is Dr. Shad Helmstetter's app, and what it is, it's self-talk language. And it is what I realized, there was like this little questionnaire that they gave us for 20, you know, it's free coaching. So as soon as you get the app, you can join this coaching, which is every Tuesday and every Saturday. It's not one-on-one coaching like I offer, and I'm going to also be doing group coaching. It's so good, and it's a community, and it's not like there's hundreds and hundreds of people. I mean, it's a pretty small group, and for as many people that are listening to self-talk, but there are, you know, some core members there that, you know, they just continue to show up, and I show up. I don't show up all the time, but especially as Steve has been sick, but I love to show up. I was showing up all the time until, you know, that happened, and my life was a little bit off, but it's just so good. You always get some really amazing value out of it, and that's free. And so that's a perk of getting that self-talk app. So, and that's always in the description. I always have it. You can get 30 days free and change your programs. So, but I'll go into we'll talk about that money mindset and how your self-talk changes that, or can change that. Neuroplasticity. You know, I'm always talking about neuroplasticity because I teach practical spirituality, and one leg is a spiritual journey, which I'm constantly infusing the spiritual into it, because we are spirit, and that is what animates us. Yet we're here on planet Earth, so we're both spirit and human at the same time. And so the second leg of what I teach, or pillar, whatever you want to call that, is the human experience. And the human experience, I really focus a lot on neuroplasticity, because when you change your self-talk, you change your life. And you get to decide on the programs. And yesterday I showed you the whole thing, all the programs and everything, and my favorites, and which were mostly all of them. But so look at yesterday's video if you're interested in seeing that again, because I don't want to take your time on doing that. It was just for October 14th, and that was day 288 if you're looking at the title. So October 15th, well, let's go ahead and read this, because it really plays into things very well. So, I choose to think about my self-talk today and be consciously aware of everything I think and say, because I am mindful and aware, And because I am making sure it's the right self-talk, I'm making today work great, and my future work even better. That is how you do it, your self-talk. You change your self-talk, and you will change your day, your minute by minute, the way you think. And I've been showing you with my hubby, has been in the hospital for 3.5 months, and actually longer with all the other stuff. But just, it's been a long journey if you've been following me, and not an easy one, right? We could say it's not an easy one. It's been many twists and turns with his health. Yet I'm showing you how you can excel in times of change, and I mean excel. So it's perception, it's how you see it, it's what you do with it, all of that. So let's spin this around. We like to spin things around here and have your higher self be speaking to you like in the second person, however you want to see that. You choose to think about your self-talk today and be consciously aware of everything you think and say, because you are mindful and aware, and because you are making sure it's the right self-talk. You're making today work great, today, and your future work even better. Yes! Go you, winner. You are a winner. That's just what you are. You're a winner. You're awesome and amazing. And especially if you're in, not especially, but if you are changing your self-talk, if you are listening and reprogramming, rewiring those programs that are, those 77% in your conscious mind that are holding you back, that are stopping you from achieving your promise and potential, your greatness. You came here. Why did you go? The purpose, right? Your purpose, that overarching purpose, which I say is like your mission, right? If you want to look at it as your mission. Why did you choose to come here? Or why are you here if you don't believe that you chose to come here? Why are you here? Why are you here? What are you to do while you're here? So that's, this is why I'm always here to try and help you find your purpose. But this whole thing is because you're making sure it's the right self-talk, because I'm making sure it's the right self-talk. I'm making today work great and my future work even better, because neuroplasticity, that's the game. That's the game on planet Earth. Your brain, yes, the heart has neurons, and I talk about that a lot, that the heart is magnetic and woo, right? That really rules, and is way over the brain. The brain is like, if you come from your heart and you're feeling with your heart and you're open, you are going to, you're going to find your purpose. If you don't already know what it is, you're going to have so much of it. You're going to attract all of that to you, all the good stuff to you, because you'll be vibrating at a very high frequency. If we're talking about the heart and love and acceptance and joy and all of those things, and understanding that everything is a message to you for positive change, like my hubby, all the things that the things that have been happening with his health and all of that, I could choose to be a victim, go into the drama triangle and say, oh my gosh, it's so, and have I done it? Yes. I'm very honest, but I know exactly when I'm in it. I flood myself with that compassion energy, that golden, liquid, awesome, beautiful, very powerful and empowering golden compassion energy. Flood myself with that. Neutralizes the drama triangle. I'm no longer a victim. I'm not a persecutor being angry at him or the situation or any of that stuff. And I'm not a rescuer. I'm not trying to rescue myself or anyone. Nothing. I know that nothing outside of myself can save me. It's all within. It all comes from within. So this is the power of the self-talk. Because and I told you we're gonna talk about money and how can that change your mindset. So many of us have really messed up ideas, and I say messed up, a lot of confusion around money and how we're supposed to think about money, especially if we're in the spiritual, we're in the spiritual business like I am. It's like, am I supposed to be rich? Am I supposed to make money? Heck yeah. Because how, this is my self-talk now. I didn't used to have this self-talk. This attitude, even a year ago, well, like 2 years ago now, because I really worked on myself spiritually, like all this, and I was like, and I knew that it was good, but I didn't know until, like, when we did this little, Elise Sargent is who leads, she's the director of, I forget exactly what her role, I should know what it is, but anyway, all of this she took us through like this questionnaire. She was leading the group, and anyway, I was trying to find the little questions. I wish I would have. I wrote them And but let me just tell you that this whole thing, if I can find it very quickly, I will, because some of the questions, and I think what I'll do is I'll put the link for you so you can actually, I'll put it in and you can, in the description, here it is. So here's the list, and I want to just share, and I'm not going to be too long because look, it's already getting dark here. That's because we just finished the coaching call, which is so amazing. If you get the Self-Talk app, if you download that, sign up for these sessions. They're free. Why wouldn't you do it? So she's the director of development. That's with Elise Sargent. And then Tracy's always there. She's the director of the Self-Talk Institute itself. So let's see. It was a learning exercise. In the list, there was, it was like your parents, like, what would your parents say that money was? Or let me see. I have the list, but it's on my phone, so I wouldn't be able to. If I had money, I'd be. How would you answer that? And money is, how would you answer that? Money is, so your money mindset, and there is, and I showed you yesterday, there's like, how do you think about money? And I'll put that and I hope that you'll share this with other people, because this video, but not just the video, but the link that I'll put in the description. And the reason I want you to share it is because it's like an eye-opener. It shows you like where you are when it comes to money, where you got your programs from your parents. Usually it's the parents or leaders or society about how you think about money. And money is a really big one. You can feel like ashamed if you have too much because you were thought of as rich, and everyone sharing about their experiences. It was so fun just listening to that, because everyone's so open and honest in those sessions. In fact, in my sessions as well with my clients, I mean, that being open and honest, here's the thing about that. You just grow. You grow and you neutralize a lot of these things, because these are programs. No matter what, your brain, it's a computer. It's like the most intricate, amazing, powerful, empowering. Remember, it's objective. It's not subjective. It's like, you know what, Lenny, I think you've been really good today, so I'm gonna give you a break, and all your 90 to 95% of your subconscious thoughts, we're not gonna hold you back or or stop you or work against you or be counterproductive. These programs are gonna give you a good day today. It's not like that. It's not like that at all. You tell your brain. It doesn't give you a break. It's objective. You program that brain, and it's the self-talk language that Dr. Shad Helmstetter created. I mean, you can do this a million ways. You could do it, a million ways. I don't know if you could do it a million ways, but it's repetition. That is like intention, focus. There's like 7, 8 rules, but intention and focus. Yet the biggest one is repetition. No matter what is repeated to you, that is what gets wired into your brain. Everything gets recorded, but then whatever is repeated, and you're growing up. Say you're growing up in a home and you don't have very much money, and I think that would be most of us. I don't think everyone had a lot of money. I think most of us grew up relatively, maybe not poverty, but middle class, and money always being an issue with something. Maybe, the mother thought one thing, your mom thought one thing about money, your dad thought another thing, and then there was, who knows? I mean, it's just all over the board. And so why wouldn't we be mixed up and have emotions and triggers and all about money? Like, that person shouldn't be spending that much money, or that's that person's a suit. My dad used to always say, well, he's a suit, so, and he kind of like, and then I became one in commercial real estate. Then I became one, but he even called Steve, my hubby, because we always wore suits. We were in commercial real estate, and I leased high-rise office space. And Steve, we were the owners of the company. So anyway, that was a very interesting thing. He's like, oh, he's a suit, about my hubby, about Steve. So it was really interesting how all of that felt. I'm waving to Lynette. So how it was, and how I was just like, okay, a suit, but yeah, I loved suits. It's like, they have money, they made their money, and so how'd they do it? Or I mean, I was very confused that this self-talk for financial success, it's so powerful. It's like every single one, no one has every single one of us could have money. it's all perception and all perspective. There isn't one person who should have more money than another. It's not should have, that cannot make money. Not one single person. It is our programs that stop us. And so that self-talk for financial success, I've been listening to it for well over a year. And what I realized in this coaching session, and this is why I wanted to talk about it, is with you about this, is that my programs have shifted so immensely. Like they're so immensely that when the question was money is, and I put money is energy. Money is energy. Money, everything is energy. There's the particle and the wave. How much, Joe Dispenza tells us that Neuroscience tells us that there's like 0.999% or whatever, that's the particle. Everything you can touch, right? Particle. The wave is energy. It's everywhere, everything. And we are energy. So I say everything's energy because the particle was even made because of the wave. So, and because it's all energy. But here's the thing, that it doesn't really matter. But that was the first thing that came to my mind, is money is energy. It's nothing more, but it's the value. It's the value we place on it, that it's something miraculous or wonderful. And we think, oh, it's going to make everything better. You know, you look at some people that have a lot of money. Do you think everything is better for them? Do you think they have good relationships? Do you think they don't go bankrupt? Do you think that they, like, all kinds of stuff happens around money because of the value that we, me, you place on it. Like, what are our programs around the money? And it's just energy. It's just energy. And there is no one that has the right to have more money than you can. And it's really just opening up and understanding and listening, changing your self-talk around it. And man, it was so powerful listening to that tonight that I was just like, wow, I could hardly wait to come and share this with you. And I did forget. Okay, I'm going to kind of stop right here, because yesterday I said, was it yesterday or the day before? It was the 13th or the 14th, but I said, I got a tool for you. It was the 13th. And the tool, and that was day 287, because I put the days on there, so, of the year. And I said, I have a tool for you, don't let me forget. And of course, we're in a video and you're not going to say, hey, you forgot. But there was no comment. No one said they forgot, but I still wanted to tell you what I did when I had, this is a tool, and I just want to bring this out. I know I'm like stopping in the middle of this video to tell you, but I do not want to forget, and I almost did. And that is what I did, because I told you I had like the chipmunks on the patio. They had eaten out the furniture. We had wasps. I had nests that and I still haven't finished dealing with that on the patio. Not here, but in our mountain home. And I just had that one day, and there was just so much to do. And what did I do? I stopped and I did a coaching call. I stopped for a client and did a coaching call. Stop and do something for someone else. When you that is the tool. And I know it doesn't have, everything has to do with everything, but I know it doesn't have to do with this particular video. But I just wanted to tell you about that tool, because I forgot on the 13th, which was day 287 of the year. So when you feel really like overwhelmed, and I also said that if you feel overwhelmed that you're in lack, but it's really more that you haven't gotten your priorities and your goals and everything put in order, and you're thinking of everything rather than writing it out, and that's probably a podcast. So about overwhelm, I actually have one on my podcast. So about overwhelm, I'd have to look at it and see if that's still good with the self-talk. But that, just stopping and doing something for someone else, it neutralizes everything. Why does it neutralize it? Because you're giving something of you that is of value to someone else, and it makes their day, and it helps them. And all of a sudden it diffuses all of that, like, oh, me, I can't, chipmunks have eaten my furniture, and I have only been here out of the last 4 months, I've only been here 2 days, maybe 3 days, and I've got weeds, and I got da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Poor me, do-do-do, little violin, right? It's like, you know, I'm going to help someone, and who's a client who wanted, and a friend who wanted that coaching, and I was like, let's do it. And because she had some flooding and some other, she was in the hurricane, and so And so we did that, and it felt so darn good to give. I was so happy to give. It just, so that's the tool. Okay, now back to back to money mindset. That whole thing, it is so amazing, because just, and I want to encourage you, and I always do encourage you, download the app. It's the 30 days free. After that, it's $19.99, and you can have up to 6 people on there with you. 6 people on there. So, and it's because it's life-changing. You will passively listen to it, and it will change your programs. You will no longer, like me, having the money mindset of like my dad thought guys were, people that wore suits were, they had all this money in the world, and my mom, it was just, there was lack. There was a lot of scarcity growing up. My sister says something different, that we were always, creative. I mean, we all had our different experiences, but I heard a lot of, we can't afford that. You can't afford that, can't afford that. And then, but my mom was super creative, and my dad, I mean, he was a printer, and then he became a psychologist, but that was after, like he was going to school after most of us had graduated from college, or had left the house, left the home, and there's 7 of us. And so we didn't really experience having more money, because he was a printer, and then he worked another job when he had to. So there wasn't a lot of money with 7 of us, or 9 in the house. And so it was just there was a lot of lack, but there was a lot of love, and there was a lot of creativity, and all of that. So it was just an interesting, the mixed messages of that. So I really enjoyed the coaching call today, and so I really wanted to share that with you, because and they don't record them, and it's very private and very nice, and you just share what you want to share. And those are the coaching calls that are free, and Elise Sargent, she's the one that runs those, along with Tracy Wright. So from the coaching and the Self-Talk Institute. So I just share that with you because it's, more light's required. So I just wanted to, and this is on the video because it's really dark. I should turn on the light. Let me see if I can turn or move a little bit to where I have a little more light. There. Yeah, that's way a little bit better. So, I'm just standing. I am standing here. Maybe I'll kneel. I'll kneel and we'll pray. I'm like in football. Okay, so my point about all of this is the money mindset is that it's really powerful how money on this 3rd dimensional planet, on planet Earth, how it has affected us in the past, how it affects us now, and how we see it in the future. And that just my own programs have shifted so immensely in just like 2 years. The spiritual, all my teaching are 3 years maybe, but just in the last, especially like the last year plus that I've been listening to self-talk, it's a humongous shift. And I resisted listening to self-talk because I do meditations and stuff, and I didn't want it to, I thought it was like affirmations. I mean, until but once I got certified, it was like, what are you doing, honey? I started listening to self-talk, and it is life-changing. So whatever pushback that was, my programs. I had a client today, she's been listening, and this was her, we did the 90-minute, like an intake, and then she's been listening though, but for a couple of months now, every single day. That girly, like she has, she has shifted so immensely in just such a short amount of time in her self-esteem and self-confidence. I was blown away by it today. And then this money mindset, my shifts, I was blown away by mine too. And how I feel about money, and I have absolutely no qualms. Like, I charge less than a lot of the coaches, the life coaches. And some people would say it's really expensive, and I could tell you that I would have said it was really expensive like 2 or 3 years ago. Like, I would never pay that amount of money for someone. I couldn't afford that. And I come from a completely different shift at this point, because I charge less than a lot of them and more than some. But I'm worth it. Like, I am totally worth it. I have been trained, and I continue to train. It's a gift that I have. I also have a skill set around it, and I'm good. I know what I'm doing, meaning I'm not like, oh, I'm the best in the world. No, but I'm very, very good at what I do, and my clients excel. And they're excelling in times of change just as I am, because I'm taking my the things that happen in my life experiences that are not so good, right, to a lot of people, shifting them, turning them around, and transmuting them into the perspective, the way I look at it, into success. And I'm helping them to do the very same thing. So it's really where you come from on how you look at money. And I could just see my programs they were neutralized, like the things that I thought, oh, if you have too much money, like people might look at you like you have too much money. It's like, bring it on, baby, bring it on. Because my end goal has been for so many years, as long as I can remember, to be Santa Claus. And I want money, like buku money, to buy people a home. I do stuff now all the time. I'm constantly doing things for other people because I love doing that. It just brings me immense amount of joy. Yet to be able to just buy someone a car, to buy them a house, to pay for their groceries for a year, to pay for a surgery, to whatever it is, to get them care so they can stay at home, rather than going to a home or something. Like, no matter what it is, it's like, it was like, what if you had money you would do? And I was like, I would be Santa Claus. And it's not like, other people, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And that's all fine. But what would I do? I'd be Santa Claus. Like, I do it to the way that I really want to do it. And so I just realized, like, it was just like, wow, this is those 20 questions. And again, I'm going to put them in there for you because it's really a measure of your patterns, your thinking, like where you are now. Think about it. You take those questions and you do that tonight or today, and then you listen to self-talk and just do it for the 30 days and then go back to those questions. Listen to self-talk for financial success. Look where you're going to be in 30 days. You'll definitely see a difference. It's not 30 days that's going to like totally make the shift, and it might be a year or 2 years or however long, but you're going to be shifting. And so many other things are going to be shifting because underneath the foundation of all of these programs, these not the mental programs that we have in our brain, but the programs that Dr. Shad Helmstetter created so that we could have better programs, more empowering programs in our brain. The whole foundation is self-esteem. When you have high self-esteem, like when you just know that you got it, you got the goods, as my friend, she always says, I know I got the goods. She's like, Lenny, you got the goods. We all have the goods. And you can always have more goods by getting skill sets with your purpose, whatever your purpose is. And really expounding and really, just being so much stronger in that. So my point is, this self-talk, download it, please. Download it, please, because even in 30 days, I know that if you really listen passively for 30 days, that you're going to start paying for it. And you're going to invite family members or friend or whoever on there with you. And it's going to start changing their programs. And think about if you have a baby or your grandparent, having your infant child learning like self-confidence, self-esteem, like all of that from the very beginning. You think that kid's going to be bullied? Verbal bullying. It's like, I think about when Lynette will have a child, and that little girlie or little boy is going to be. They might say, "You're in 4 eyes." I've used this before, but I think so many people use glasses. I don't even think that's a thing anymore. Like in school, outdated. But it's like, "Your 4 eyes" was the big thing. And it was just like I was like, I was in 10th grade, so I was a sophomore, and I was a cheerleader, and I was like, oh, I didn't want to, I was like, not a cheerleader, that was the next year, but I was in stage band and like a lot of stuff, and I was like, oh man, I was so embarrassed, I barely put them on and everything else. What if my self-talk was so high self-esteem? Now I can see, all right, I can see the leaves on the tree, I can see the dirt in the rug when I go home. It was really bad. I was like, oh my gosh. But anyway, our vacuum was broken. I remember saying that, and it just, we lived in a pretty poor place, and then there was 9 of us, and so all of us with the cows and the horses, and well, we had some ponies at different times, but just all that, the animals and all of us, it was like, wow, that is not a pretty picture. So my point is, you change your self-talk. Get the app. and see, and then, and not just that, but go attend those free coaching every Tuesday and every Saturday, and just see. It's free, and the app doesn't cost very much, you know, compared to what you're getting. You're rewiring your brain. Like it's changing your life for such a little bit. It's not therapy. Like, it's so beyond therapy. It's not like therapy's not helpful, but as life coaches, we are trained to help you move forward, not focus on what hurt or traumatized, or, you know, it's because if you focus on that, like in therapy, what are you doing to your brain? Repeat, repeat, repeat. You're thinking more of that. And I want to help you move forward. It's like, what are your goals? Where do you want to go? Let's look at them realistically and get you moving forward. And repeat the self-talk of, you're not a victim. You are empowered. You can do absolutely anything. You were born with absolutely unlimited promise and potential. And it is still there, just covered up with programs. So that's the story. I love you so very, very much. And let me see if I can read this. If I can see if this, I choose, let me see. Yeah. I choose to think about my self-talk today and be consciously aware of everything I think and say, because I am mindful and aware, and because I am making sure it's the right self-talk. Making sure it's the right self-talk. Help yourself. Give yourself a great gift, a tool, and download that app with the self-talk language, positive self-talk language that will transform the way you think, what you say when you talk to yourself. I'm making today work great and my future work even better. Yay! That's how it goes. All right, that's it for today. I love you so very much. Don't forget my trick to help others. Do something for others when you're like so full of yourself, and, you know, I mean, so into your own life of problems. Do something for someone else. It's such a great tool. And download that app. Download the self-talk app. It's always in the description. I love you so very, very much. I believe in you. You can do this. You can find your purpose. You can do, be, change, have, create absolutely anything. Absolutely anything. You can. You are an unlimited light being. And on planet Earth, you are spirit flowing through you, animates you. You are perfect as a light being. As a human being, you are unlimited. So that's pretty darn good, don't you think? And you just got these programs, so you can rewire your brain to the programs that you want, the ones that I showed you yesterday. Go to yesterday's video, which was day 288, and look at the programs the way that I showed you. Not the way that I showed you. Look at the programs. I showed you the programs is what I'm saying. So that's it for tonight. I love you so very, very much. As always, shining my light to brighten yours, and we will see you tomorrow. Let me kneel over. I'm walking to do this. Okay, turn it off. Love you so much. Ciao.